Hey guys, it's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I know it's a little bit late here on the East Coast, but I want to try to make sure I get these predictions out before the games happen this weekend. So what a season it's been for the NFL season. Unfortunately, I was not able to make any picks in week 18, but I finished with a winning record like I did the last several weeks, and we have, our third year of this is our second year of a set. This was our second year of the 17 game schedule, and our this is our third year of the 14 playoff teams, with only the number one seed getting the bye and having a third wild card in each conference. And so that begins our timeline to the first game of the playoffs. Now, a lot of people were wondering, like, hey, Vinny, what are you going to be doing for the playoffs? You're going to do it all in one go? Or you're going to go game by game? I decided that I'm going to go game by game this time. My Super Bowl prediction is the Chiefs over the Niners, but I want to try to go game by game. So let's start off with the first game that's going to be on for this weekend. Super wildcard weekend. It's just wildcard weekend. It's not really super. It just added 2 more games, but it's been the case for 3 years now, so it's kind of lost a little bit of its charm. The number 2 ranked San Francisco 49ers, the NFC West division winners, hosting their NFC West rival, the NFC 7 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers started off a little bit mediocre to start the year. In fact, they had one their most notable losses was against the Denver Broncos. But then something changed. They won 8 straight games to finish out the season. And when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, Trey Lance got hurt, then Jimmy Garoppolo came in. He looked good. But ever since he got hurt, Brock Purdy's been the quarterback, and he's been outstanding. 5 straight games winning, and he is hosting at home a playoff game, and he looks poised, he looks confident, he looks every bit as qualified to be the leader of this team. You have Nick Bosa, who might be the defensive player of the year. You have Fred Warner. You have Tohua Hufanga, who's also had a great season, winning a first-team All-Pro for the Associated Press. Kyle Shanahan, he's a great head coach. D'Amico Ryans, he's been the defensive coordinator for a stacked defense. He is definitely going to get head coaching opportunities. I would be surprised if he isn't high on many people's radars. So the Niners, far and away, a Super Bowl caliber team. But then you look on the other side of the ball. You look on the other side of the field, and you have the Seattle Seahawks. That's right, the Seattle Seahawks, a team that many people thought would be in a rebuilding year. I thought they'd finish easily last place in their division. I thought this was a team that, they trade away Russell Wilson. We're going to have Geno Smith as the starting quarterback, and they're going to be a rebuilding year fighting for last place, one of the worst teams in the NFC. But they surprised a lot of people. Their Tariq Wilson and even Kobe Bryant, their rookie secondary, played extremely well up to competition. And Geno Smith is the front runner, the runaway favorite to win comeback player of the year. He had an outstanding season. For many people thought was a disappointing draft pick in 2013. He had a career year by every metric. He was top 10, like top 5 in touchdowns. He was top 5 in QBR, or at least top 10 from my understanding. He also finished with the league leader in passer rating. He had an incredible season, really incredible season. Now, granted, it was really good for the first 3 quarters. The final quarter of the season, they were kind of shaky, but they did just enough to get where they are, and here they are in the playoffs in what was supposed to be a rebuilding year. And to make things even better, because of how bad the Broncos were this year, they still end up with a number 5 overall pick. So regardless of what happens, this season has been an absolute win in every aspect. But as for the game itself, well, unfortunately, Seahawks fans, the Niners beat them in week 2 in the Thursday night game a few weeks ago, where the Niners won the division. They clamped down on the Seahawks. And I think the Niners will beat them for a 3rd time this year. It doesn't happen a lot, but I think it's guaranteed to happen this time. The Seahawks, I see losing to the San Francisco 49ers, and I see the Niners winning over -9.5. I know it's a lot of points, but the Niners look like one of the most complete teams in the NFL, whereas the Seahawks, where they honestly, it's questionable whether or not they really deserved to get that win against the Rams, considering how it handled. I personally feel like the Lions, if they were here instead of the Seahawks, would have fared better against the Niners, but I still think they would have lost. Though even then, I think this is going to be where the season ends for the Seahawks. And you know, they had a really, really respectable season. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team next year, but stranger things have happened. I mean, this season was a big surprise. Caught everyone off guard with the Rams having a down year. The Cardinals had a bad year. So the Seahawks took advantage of this opportunity and they made the playoffs. And honestly, that deserves a big round of applause, in my opinion. The Niners, I think, will have an easy path to the division title. And the number 2 seed will continue their dominance over the 7 seeds, going 5-0, in my opinion, because you had the Bills beating the Colts and the Saints beating the Bears in 2020. And then you had the Chiefs beat the Steelers and the Buccaneers beating the Eagles in 2021. I think the Seahawks will continue the tradition of losing to the number 2 seed. But either way, hell of a season for the Seahawks, but I think the Niners will move on to the divisional round. But that's my thoughts on the first game of the playoffs. Who do you think the Niners are easily going to win this game, or do you think Seattle will give them the run for their money? As for who I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I think this Niners have been an amazing story, and even though they're my pick to represent the NFC, I got to root for Geno Smith. He has been through so much adversity. But unfortunately, I think this is where the storybook season will come to an end for them. But, you know, best of luck, and I'll be back very shortly. I'll give my prediction for the other game this weekend for the wild card round.